Hey, this is Bob Parsons here. We're going to be trying to play a blues, the same blues as I played yesterday, uh, only on a steel string guitar. And this time, I'm going to try to maybe stop it, the recording, if I could do something that's worthy, so to speak. Uh, Anyhow, let's just play. What I'm Some of the things I think about before I is that music is a really a team sport, and as much as I don't watch football anymore, uh, I mean, even though okay, let's get political for a second or philosophical. Personally, no judgment among people who are into football. I totally understand it, but for me, having a very damaged knee from playing it, I didn't want my kids to play it, and I think in a lot of ways it's really stupid. I mean, if people are going to do it, I'll probably watch it sometime. You're right. If people are going to box for a living, I'll watch boxing. Me personally, I can't do that. Uh, but I totally understand. So no judgment. But here, back to the football illusion illustration is that when you're playing a solo, you'll get a lot more yardage if you wait for your lead blockers every once in a while. I mean, you don't want to dart into the hole with five or six 300-pound guys standing there. Wait for the rhythm section to push some of that stuff out of the way, and that's what those pauses are like. And another thing that a pause will do, besides in, invigorate the band, because they all of a sudden feel the silence, and not that the pressure's on them, but they know that you're using them, and that's important. So many guys just play notes all over the place, and there's no pauses, there's no time for refreshment, uh, and a lot of this comes from the kind of learning to play instead of your garage with some friends. You're out at the jam session. You've got, if you get two choruses, you're lucky. I've seen, and I've been cut off on one chorus. But, it's the protocol that happens at the so-called jam sessions where you're really just playing songs with other people. You're not jamming. You're not what I call jamming. If you want to know what jamming's like, all ego aside, come watch me play Monday night with Kenny Blackwell. We're jamming. We don't know what we're going to do. We have a theme sometimes when we get into the tune, but the idea is to push things a little bit. So anyway, but back to the blues. Blues is like telling a story, and there's ways to refresh the story or keep the interest of the listener. And one of the ways you do that is eloquently taught by Larry Carlton is imitation of a theme. You find a theme that's happening and you take advantage of that. You build on it. In order to build on it, you have to assign value to your playing. And I hope some of you younger guys are listening to this. Assigning value to your own playing is the most difficult thing in the world. You have to listen to yourself, and you have to step away from yourself as the guitar player and be the listener and go, hey, that little piece is kind of cool. Let's develop that. So you'll see that I'm a Larry Carlton fan. Uh, Personally, if I wanted to hear anybody in the planet play blues, a blues solo, he'd be the first guy. And I hardly would miss anybody else. I'm not kidding you. Larry plays with a lot of feeling, but he's got a lot in his head too. He's got a lot of stuff in that bag of tricks to pull out at any given time. Anyway, let's play with some of that in mind. See what happens. Hello. Okay, right there is proof, and I got this from Larry too. I from listening to his BP Blues on the album last night. He did this long run that sounded natural, but it fit the blues, but it wasn't in the key of G, which he's playing in. He was playing an F major run, and I could hear it, and I found it, and I go, huh, an F major scale right over that blues change. So here we are playing an A, and here's the G scale starting high and ending on an A up here. That's A. And that takes you to the A chord right there at the 12th fret with your pinky on the A. So the street scale, the street key, is what the blues is called in. Hey, we're playing in a key of A. All right. But what's really happening is they're playing in the key of G. And all those chord changes, the A being a dominant 7, it's androgynous. It's minor or major. And with the dominant 7 in there, we all play the pentatonic minor over that. We're telling ourselves it's a minor tonality at times. Matter of fact, the normal third for that chord sounds a little spicy. Almost like it wants to go to the 7 in a way. But anyway, the other chords, the 4 of A is the dominant 7/5 of G, which is 1-to-1 related, right? And the 5 chord of A, being another dominant 7, if you just sharp the 9, you get like an E minor. You got a hybrid minor 7 or a like a 6th. It's the 6th of G, which is a relative minor. So okay, here's what I'll do for the rest of this next passage. I'm going to play in the key of G. Or yeah, I'm playing in the key of G. The street key is the blues in A. So just to show you how sweet some of the G scale can sound. G. G. Well, that was G. I mean, some of you can overdo it. That was G. Straight up G. G. Ooh. Alrighty. That little move there was a turnarounds. Basically, go from the third up to the fifth, or from the seventh down to the fifth. That's A right there, and we're in the street key of A. And so I'm going to keep the A constant and move seven down and the third up. Contrary movement, I think that's called it. Anyway, A's constant. So, anyway, find out what those chords are. And then transpose it to something bigger. That's an A7. There's a 4. D, straight up D triad. There's a F7. And then you're back to A. So you got a F to A is like, what the heck is F to A? Let's see what happens. You got A, and then you got, let's see, spells that, and I just learned something there too about that F chord. I'm going to dink around with that. And anyway, that's how you build stuff. And let's finish this guy. Let's see if we can finish this guy off. See where I'm at. Finally, the 5. Well, anyway, there's some stuff in